Children and Teen event in Panama inspires dependence on Jesus and develops spiritual leaders. Seventh-day Adventist Church unveils the proposed I Will Go strategic plan for 2025 to 2030 at the 2023 Annual Council. A church in Albania witnesses spiritual growth and transformation through baptisms. ADRA celebrates 40 years of humanitarian commitment with a legacy of justice and global aid in emergencies. Stay tuned for news from the Global Adventist Church now on ANN News Retrospective. The Adventist University Center of Sao Paulo, UNASP, in Brazil, has a special place for religious games for students of the institution and the community. The Save Point Recreation Library aims to promote leisure time for students to help them develop both academically and spiritually.
A playful space dedicated to college students and the community for social, academic, and spiritual development. This is Save Point. In this environment, fun and learning come together. The space operates at NASP Engenheiro Coelho campus and emerged from a project by Williams Costa Jr. of Communication and Religion, among other partners.
Save Point was born in March 2023, created by Pastor Eric Lima, Pastor Danny Bravo, and me. The objective is to provide UNASP students with an environment where they can learn about the Bible through educational games on Saturdays. It is also a space where we create religious games for the Adventist community.
The Play Center operates on Saturday mornings with Sabbath school and opens in the afternoon for students' fun. All of this with a vast collection of Christian board games. It's a well-prepared environment to welcome the group.
The Play Center space aims to combine pedagogy with creating memorable moments and building knowledge through these memorable moments with friends, using games and activities that provide positive stimulation for the individual and their community or group of friends. Therefore, the game library provides students with the opportunity to be here, develop themselves, and construct knowledge in the most positive way possible. This, of course, leads to their spiritual growth as well.
During the week, Save Point becomes a space for research and an extension of the classroom, serving both the UNASP school and undergraduate courses. The theoretical class becomes practical.
I could say that the Play Center is a space for experimentation. Here we can observe and apply what is always discussed in our classes. So in terms of research about learning retention, motor skills, psychomotor development, we can see practical examples through other students. Besides being a fun space, it also becomes a place for studying.
For future professionals, this game lab is an opportunity to boost their resumes. Through this space, students can prioritize scientific research and development.
We have about 80 games available in the Play Center, and we receive students from the Center for Pedagogy, Psychology, and Engineering who come here to learn more about the Bible through games.
But beyond that, in Save Point, we have a physical and in-person environment where students who are taking other courses, obtaining other qualifications, can also develop game design skills.
Gamification is a path that the Seventh-day Adventist Church has found for evangelization, and UNASP has been part of this great movement. With the course in digital games from Adventist Distance Education, several developers have emerged, allowing us to create more games and reach more people.
When we talk about games, people often have concerns about the values these games convey, because many games contain elements of violence or themes that are inconsistent with the Christian faith. To ensure that games reflect our values, we need more Christian and Adventist developers working on them. To achieve this goal, UNASP offers a course in digital game development through distance education. It's a way for us to prepare members of our church, particularly the young people of our church, to use their foundational education through games as well, and thus promote the values of our faith.
Hope Channel launched its new program, Hope at Night, on October 3rd, 2023. The late-night show tackled thought-provoking questions through interviews with real people with incredible life stories to share. Hope at Night gathered a live audience for a special 7-day taping. Several participants indicated the series has led them to commit or recommit their lives to God, and several others were interested in further Bible study and learning more about God. Anil Kanda, the host of Hope at Night, described it as a creative evangelism venture that uses discussions and interviews to introduce diverse audiences to important Bible beliefs. The show concludes each episode with an invitation for viewers to seek God and embrace the truth. For more information about Hope at Night and to witness stories of transformation, visit the official website of Hope Channel at hopetv.org. Adventist leaders presented the proposed 5-year strategic plan for 2025 to 2030 during Annual Council 2023, one of the most important business meetings of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Themed Chosen for Mission, the meetings were held from October 5th to 11th at the world headquarters of the Seventh-day Adventists in Silver Spring, Maryland, in the United States. As is customary, the meetings began with the LEAD, Leadership, Education, and Discipleship Conference, which explored the theme Mission Refocus, Disciple Making. The LEAD conference is designed to ignite a passion for disciple making amongst global leaders present, echoing the Great Commission's resounding call, go and make disciples.
How can we do this? And we can do it in different ways, but we want to challenge you today to think in a very simple and practical way, following Jesus' words. And you have in your program, we are talking about the challenge, but the next 3 segments of the program this morning will speak about these 3 parts of a disciple-making process. First is the call. Second is the journey. And third is the mission. Because Jesus said, come and follow me, and I'll make you fishers of men.
The proposed strategic plan to guide the next quinquennium before being officially adopted at Annual Council 2024 may have the same name, I Will Go, and has 21 measurable goals. These goals will allow members and leaders at every level around the world to clearly understand the intention of the plan. It will include 4 strategic priorities.
First, communion with God. Second, identity in Christ. Third, unity through the Holy Spirit. And fourth, mission for all. We would like this plan, with its 4 memorable priorities, to go far and wide in the church, and therefore we want it to be easily understood by church members as much as by high-level church leaders.
To conclude the segment dedicated to the 2025-2030 strategic plan, Ted N.C. Wilson, Paul H. Douglas, and Ayrton Kohler, the 3 administrative leaders of the General Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, offered their support.
Now that we have these 21 measurable goals, now that we have 4 strategic priorities, it is incumbent upon us to ensure that the resources that God has given us for mission are appropriately aligned to this mission that we will engage in. Yesterday, Elder Kohler included another element in mission refocus. The first 2 elements obviously are rebalancing our efforts and our attentions to the front line and adopting new fields. Then he added disciple making. But I'd like to add a 4th today, mobilizing the resources God has given us for the mission.
We are planning for the future, but mission refocus can start now. And let me just highlight something to you. We have a special combination right now that we need to pay attention. First, we have mission refocus as a movement. It is helping us to put emphasis on mission. Second, we have next year the 150th anniversary of our mission. It will be another opportunity to highlight mission to the church. Number 3, right now, we are studying the Sabbath School study guide, or the Sabbath School lesson about mission. We will have 3 months to highlight to the church the need of everybody be involved on mission. And according to Pastor Ryan and Dr. Trim, mission is one of the emphases of our strategic plan. I think that we have everything in place to move forward with urgency.
Total member involvement, Pastor Ryan, is absolutely essential because God doesn't ask this room to simply accomplish the mission. He asks everyone to be involved, everyone doing something for Jesus. Everyone can have an opportunity. And as we move into our annual council, you're going to hear repeatedly the clarion call for everyone to be involved in this mission and saying, yes, Lord, I will go. I have to tell you, we have spent in our small executive group, and then, of course, beyond that, in our future plans working group, which has helped to put together the strategic plan. And those statistics that you saw today, let me tell you, those are sobering. Those are challenging, many of them. We have a lot of work to do within the church in order to then share outside the church. But all of us can be part of that strategic plan, saying, yes, Lord, I will go. I'll be part of it. And that's why total member involvement, global TMI, is so important.
The Adventist Development and Relief Agency, ADRA, celebrated a remarkable milestone. 2023 marked 40 years of ADRA's commitment to humanitarian service. The milestone also highlighted the organization's enduring legacy of justice and compassion. Over the decades, this agency has earned global recognition for its outstanding emergency aid efforts, responding to thousands of calamities and natural disasters worldwide.
Hello, my name is Michael Kruger, President of ADRA International. This year, ADRA celebrates a wonderful milestone of 40 years of service to vulnerable and marginalized communities around the globe. ADRA's first major response in 1983 was to the significant famine in the country of Ethiopia. And since then, ADRA has responded to thousands of natural calamities. It is important for us to look back and to reflect on how God has blessed this agency, to learn the lessons from the challenges that we have faced. But more importantly, ADRA needs to ensure that it stands ready to respond with justice, compassion, and love. Since our very earliest days, ADRA has been known for emergency responses around the globe. As we look at media today, hurricanes seem stronger, tropical storms bring more devastation, extended droughts impact farmers, and so ADRA has pivoted and changed in order to be able to respond to these challenges. ADRA's development work takes place under three core pillars, one of which is health. In communities struck with perhaps long-term drought or being ravaged by storms, access to things like clean running water and sanitary services is not that simple. And the people who are most affected in these circumstances are children. ADRA's school feeding initiative is a lot more than children with full tummies. Many of them without food simply don't come to school. And so this initiative brings the children to school and allows them to receive the skills they need to grow up into adults who in turn have a positive impact on their communities. In many of the schools, we have large vegetable gardens which provide the nutritious meal that those children need on a daily basis. But it also provides the opportunity for the parents to become involved. For communities in need, very often all they simply need is a helping hand. That helping hand could be the provision of a skill, the making available of a small loan, or the marketing of a product. In the country of Mongolia, ADRA has been working with farmers for many years in helping them improve the output of whether it is their vegetable or their wool produce that they seek to bring to market. These projects of ADRA provide aid to the farmers. It includes sustainable planting techniques, assisting farmers in packaging their goods in a way that is appealing to consumers. ADRA made education its third pillar of development. A quality education is life-changing for any child. In 2018, ADRA ran a connections trip with students from universities and colleges within the United States and Brazil, and they traveled to a very remote area within the Amazon and set about building a school for that community. Today, that school is full to capacity. ADRA and students around the world are looking forward to doing more trips like that to change the lives of young children in remote places. Along with our development pillars, we recognize the growing need to amplify the voices of others through advocacy. In 2019, ADRA launched its first global advocacy campaign to work with leaders around the globe for them to get every child everywhere in school. In partnership with leaders within the Adventist Church and with lay people within our communities, we were able to garner 1.3 million signatures to support our campaign. In Europe, ADRA hosted an Education Accelerator Summit in which they hosted both government and leaders from the academic communities. Pilot projects have also been initiated in several countries. One special advocacy project comes to us from Mexico. A book called Me Llaman Migrante places the spotlight on the plight of migrants and promotes awareness through storytelling. An interactive exhibit brings this book to life and allows those who engage with it to come to a truer understanding of the plight, the difficulties, and the challenges that so many migrants experience. Anniversaries aren't the same unless we share them with those that we love. We want to express our deepest gratitude to each and every one of you who have supported ADRA these many, many years, and for those who have borne us up in prayer. Thank you to all of you. This is just the beginning. ADRA has much more to do as we move forward with justice, compassion, and love.
Hundreds of children and adolescents aged 7 to 14 are challenged to depend on Jesus. They traveled from across Panama to participate in a congress in Panama City, the country's capital. Organized by the Children and Adolescents Ministry of the administrative headquarters of the Inter-American region, the event aims to stimulate the growth of faith and strengthen trust in God so that they become spiritual leaders in their churches and communities. With the theme, Jesus, our eternal rock, children and teenagers participated in spiritual messages, prayers, and social activities. The purpose of the event was to reaffirm that Jesus is a safe refuge, the best guide and friend they could have. Now we're heading to Albania, where the Seventh-day Adventist Church experienced a resurgence in the 1990s, serving as a testament to faith and resilience. The local community, blessed with vibrant and dedicated youth, recently celebrated their unwavering commitment with the joyful baptism of 2 individuals.
Local members gathered for the second Albanian family camp in the city of Elbasan, which is a significant part of the Christ for Europe initiative. Pastor Elbert Kuhn, Associate Secretary of the General Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, served as the main speaker at this annual family camp in Albania. He emphasized the importance of collaborating with the local community to share the gospel. Pastor Delmar Rice, the president of the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Albania, describes this project as an annual gathering, providing a unique opportunity to unite members from all Albanian churches. A heartwarming moment took place during the event as Mirella Zila was baptized by her son, Pastor Marco Frascieri. Their shared joy and gratitude marked this special moment.
Evangelistic campaign in Nigeria leads to over 5,600 baptisms.
The Almost Home campaign, led by Pastor Christopher Holland from Hope Channel International, took place in Port Harcourt, Nigeria, and aimed to spread hope in a troubled world. The campaign resulted in 5,645 individuals being baptized across 2,210 downlink centers in eastern Nigeria, with 1,010 baptisms in Port Harcourt.
Revival coming to this earth that will sweep across the world, that will deceive many, and Matthew 24 says, will deceive, if possible, the very elect of God.
Among the many stories of transformation that followed this evangelistic series is the story of James Enuada Didia, who renounced ancestral worship despite threats. His conversion led to the destruction of sacred objects and his baptism, symbolizing a significant spiritual shift. Numerous testimonies of healing and conversions emerged during the campaign, emphasizing the impact of Pastor Holland's messages. The outreach also drew attention from diverse media channels and influential figures, showcasing the campaign's significance. Despite challenges, the event's success in engaging members in prayer and mission was recognized and celebrated, reinforcing the impact of media ministries and the commitment to spreading God's message.
Frank Starr Bond, a pioneer in bringing the Adventist message to Spain, established schools and churches, baptizing many despite facing illness and challenges. His enduring legacy lives on among Spain's 17,000 Adventists.
Frank Starr Bond and his brother Walter were the first missionaries who brought the Adventist message to Spain. One of 12 children, Frank was born in the United States into a large Californian family. He earned a degree in theology in 1899 from Healdsburg College, now Pacific Union College. At a camp meeting in Fresno, Pastor Arthur G. Daniels, the president of the General Conference, called for volunteers to go preach the Adventist message in new territories. Frank and Walter volunteered. Because they had worked among Hispanics in Arizona and Nevada and had some knowledge of the Spanish language, they were sent to be the first to preach the Adventist message in Spain. Frank was 27 when they arrived in Barcelona in 1903. Before long, they moved to the city of Sabadell, where they established a school. Missionary work, colporteur ministry, and public lectures soon bore fruit, and 3 people were baptized. 2 years after his arrival, Frank fell ill with smallpox and had to return to the United States. 1 year later, he returned to Spain healthy and now married to Martha M. Farnsworth. Soon after, Frank was ordained to the ministry. He moved with his family to the province of Teruel, where he baptized several families the following year. Their descendants would later become pastors. In 1912, Frank helped establish the first 2 churches in Spain, the first in Barcelona and the second in Jerica. While living in eastern Spain, Frank and Martha had a daughter, and 2 years later, a son. Frank became the second president of the Spanish mission and worked in Spain until 1923, when exhausted from work and sick, he returned to the United States. After a life of service, which included pastoring and evangelizing, he died in Fresno, California on April 25, 1924. Frank Starr Bond and his family's legacy is still felt in Spain, where today there are more than 17,000 Adventists. However, an increasing number of people in this country claim no religion at all. Please pray for the work in Spain as Adventists spread a message of hope. To read the entire story about Frank Starr Bond and other articles, visit the Encyclopedia of Seventh-day Adventists at encyclopedia.adventist.org.
Thank you for watching ANN. Join us next week for more news from the headquarters of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Did you know the Seventh-day Adventist Church has a YouTube channel where you can watch ANN Video, ANN In Depth, and plenty of other amazing videos on prophecy, health, and Bible study? Just go to YouTube and search for the Adventist Church. Make sure you click the subscribe button so you never miss a new video. And remember, leave a comment or a prayer request. We have a team dedicated to praying for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Before we say goodbye, we'll leave you with some good news from the book of Psalms, chapter 23, verse 4. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. That's our program for this week. And remember, you can always visit adventist.news for daily news and videos. Until next time, God bless.